In the heart of 19th century Germany, amidst cobblestone streets and horse-drawn carriages, a young boy named Karl Benz dared to dream of a self-propelled vehicle. This is the story of how a poor boy's vision revolutionized the world of transportation. Karl Benz was born on November 25, 1844, in Mühlberg, Germany. His father, Johann Georg Benz, was a locomotive driver who passed away from pneumonia when Karl was just 2 years old. Left in financial hardship, his mother, Josephine, was determined to provide Karl with a good education. Despite financial constraints, Karl's mother enrolled him in the Karlsruhe Polytechnic School at the age of 15. He graduated at 19 with a mechanical engineering degree, showcasing exceptional talent and dedication. After graduation, Karl worked at various engineering firms, but struggled to find a place where he could fully realize his innovative ideas. His entrepreneurial spirit remained undeterred. Karl Benz was no stranger to hardship. Growing up in poverty, raised solely by his mother after his father died of pneumonia when Karl was just 2, he learned early that survival meant persistence. But within his quiet and curious mind, the seeds of something extraordinary were already taking root. He wasn't like the other boys. While they played, Karl took apart clocks and rebuilt them. He'd watch carriages roll by and imagine how they could move without a horse. Karl found himself obsessing over one revolutionary question. What if a machine could move on its own? Steam-powered carriages already existed, yes, but they were bulky, dangerous, and inefficient. Karl dreamed of something smaller, safer, a vehicle powered by an internal combustion engine. Something no one had truly done before. But dreams require more than brilliance. They require backing. In 1871, Karl finally took a leap. Along with a business partner, August Ritter, he founded Benz & CA, a small mechanical workshop in Mannheim. But even here, fate wasn't kind. Ritter was unreliable. Funds were drying up, and Karl's obsession with his engine was seen as madness by investors. No one believed a horseless carriage could work. No one, except one person. Bertha Benz. Bertha wasn't just Karl's wife, she was his lifeline. When Ritter threatened to ruin everything, Bertha used part of her dowry, her personal inheritance, to buy out his shares. She saved the company, and more than that, she kept Karl's dream alive. Bertha cooked meals by candlelight, raised their 5 children, and often worked in the background of the workshop. She encouraged him during late-night failures. When the engine exploded once during a test, Karl collapsed in tears, but Bertha calmly wiped the soot from his face and said, "Then we rebuild, and rebuild they did." Years of trial and error followed. Karl tirelessly explored various motor designs, fuel delivery mechanisms, and spark technologies, crafting every component from the ground up. In an era without blueprints, suppliers, or instructional guides, Karl Benz created a groundbreaking motor from nothing. By 1885, he had achieved his vision. The Benz patent motor wagon, the first automobile in history. It had a lightweight chassis, a 954cc single-cylinder engine producing 0.75 horsepower, and could run at a staggering 10 mph. But the world didn't cheer. It laughed. The public mocked him. Neighbors called him crazy. Investors refused to fund him. And when Karl drove the motor wagon down the streets of Mannheim for the first time, dogs barked, children screamed, and people yelled that the devil was riding a carriage. Karl was devastated. He considered giving up. But once again, Bertha refused. In 1888, without telling Karl, Bertha secretly took the motor wagon on a journey that would change history. 106 kilometers from Mannheim to her mother's house in Pforzheim. With her 2 teenage sons, no fuel stations, no maps, and no roads meant for cars, Bertha became the first person to complete a long-distance trip by automobile. Along the way, curious villagers gathered. Word spread like wildfire. And when she finally arrived, mud-splattered, exhausted but triumphant, she had proven that the motor wagon worked. That one act of courage made headlines. Investors came calling, orders began to trickle in, And finally, the world began to believe. Over the next decade, Benz and CA became one of the largest manufacturers in Germany. Meanwhile, another rival company, Daimler Motorengesellschaft, was building engines of their own. In 1926, long after Karl's original invention, the two companies merged to become Mercedes-Benz, a name that would forever redefine luxury, performance, and innovation. Karl Benz passed away in 1929. Just 2 years after witnessing the global impact of the automobile he once built in a humble workshop. From a poor boy in Karlsruhe with a dream, to the creator of the modern automobile, Karl Benz didn't just build a car, he changed the world. Every time you turn a key, every time a car engine roars to life, you're hearing the legacy of a man who refused to give up, a man whose wife risked everything to prove his genius, a family who fought against failure, rejection, and ridicule, to gift the world the freedom of movement. This is not just a car story, this is a human story, because sometimes it takes just one dreamer, one poor boy, to drive the world forward.